So this is textbook what not to do in this comp matchup. And I think you guys all know this. I think seeing it from third person kind of highlights it. We're going to be looking at Blizzard World, and we're going to be looking at Route 66. Two very different vibes there. Is there anything that sticks out from either of those two maps that you guys want to touch on before I get started? Anything you want to bring up right now?
I know on Blizzard World First Defense, I fucked up my positioning, but that's all.
Okay. And we'll see that when we get to it.
Yeah.
All right. First point attack. Are we ready to get started? Let's get it rolling. I just want to say how proud I am of this maneuver we're about to pull out. This is some pretty clean stuff we're rolling through here. So this is a really good example of finding our win condition. We are running against a dive comp with a threatening backline in Zen and Ashe. The last thing we want to do is get caught fighting these tanks that can just jump away. We need to eliminate the threats, and we did exactly that. That was beautiful, guys. Only thing I might clean up a little bit is Kinetic and Skullex playing a little bit safer once we get the initial engage off up here, playing for your people still on the ground. And then once we get these picks, we want to jump right off the ground so that we can support these members who didn't make it up right away. So it was a little bit scary for Arrow there.
Yeah.
But we managed to clean it up, and we only go down one. So overall, very, very good. Clean, fast decision making. That's all it takes. And just to speak really quickly about win conditions too, like how do you guys feel about this matchup of sort of Brawl versus Dive? Any thoughts about this comp versus our comp?
Our comp is way better than their comp right now.
Anything specific it's way better at, or it's just better in the current meta?
I mean, just like their comp is just like very flawed that it can't really sustain a dive or like get set up because you get forced out so often.
I think as long as Brawl is played properly, Dive should never win.
Are coaches allowed to answer this one?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. The biggest weakness of this comp is they lack an echo, and they've replaced it with a Genji.
Sorry, one second. I gotta turn my light on.
And because they're using Genji instead of Echo, their ability to kind of surround on all sides and make this dive effective falls off heavily. Right?
So,
they have no punish.
So the biggest thing Dive does well is isolating and executing people. But we are playing a composition that plays basically stacked on top of each other. So we can just eliminate their biggest win condition by not splitting up, by playing in relatively tight-knit groups. That doesn't mean we need to always like stack on our Rhine and always move as like a death ball like goats or anything like that. But it means that we can dictate what space our squishy members are playing with. And we can just never expose them if we don't want to. There's a point coming up where we get spawn held a little bit, and I think we're going to showcase exactly why that's important. So I wanted to bring that up before we got to it. I like the swap to the D.Va, by the way. Number one, because Rhine isn't going to get as much value from bubbles versus a dive comp compared to a Brawl comp, and you're just more able to answer all these flanking DPS members like a Pharah or a Genji that are flying above you. This was a little bit awkward. This is a good example of what happens when we get split as a Brawl comp versus a dive comp. They are able to focus whoever they want to in this moment, and we're not able to fully cover each other. Just watch our little hero models run around the screen. If we ever get split up like this, we need to prioritize regrouping. Maybe we open fights by splitting up and getting like a cheeky angle or something like that, but for extended fights, we need to be together. And this spawn hole is about to exemplify that. There is zero reason for anyone to be coming out of spawn door before the team is ready. There's zero reason for us to force cooldowns like May Shift. There's zero reasons for us to not be ready to deal with a grab if it comes out. There's zero reason for a D.Va to be losing mech. There's zero reason for our Rhine shield to be this low when we're rocking out. All these things are avoided if we just coordinate. And I don't know what the communication was like at this time. I don't know what was going through your guys' heads at this time. But all it takes is just one hard reset. Wait for 6, decide where we're going, and pull the trigger together. We can play it as slow as we want. If they dive into us, especially at this close range space, that's fine for us. We have so much natural cover for all of our backline members, and this is prime real estate for Ryan to just swing to his heart's content. If we're dealing with a Pharah spam, we can take a wider angle and play slow. We can even like move all the way back to statue, set up our McCree to snipe Pharah out of the sky, so she either has to fall back or just completely give out that space. And we just work slower. All we're doing right now is everyone's getting a little bit too eager, I would say, and we're trying really hard to individually make a difference, but it's just getting us punished one by one. So this is textbook what not to do in this comp matchup, and I think you guys all know this. I think seeing it from third person kind of highlights it. But yeah, this isn't on any one person. This is just on everyone to realize when we need to group, play to our comp strengths, which is going to be playing together, especially in this matchup. And then yeah, just slow roll it. That's all it takes. And here we go. We're setting up together. We're clearing out slight flanks without D.Va overcommitting. Actually, I think you lose mech here. So again, I hate to bring it up again to harp on you guys some more. There's no reason to expose ourselves like this. Like I thought you were just going to go mark and then fly back, which is fine if you were scouting or something like that. But losing mech this early, forcing D.Va bomb, not good. Arrow, a bit of an aggressive angle. Again, you were here before our Ryan was walking out this door. You're just opening yourself up to a potential dive, that kind of stuff. It's good to set up these kind of plays, but make sure we're executing them together.
Okay, yeah. I was sorry if you pause it. I was doing, I guess I probably should call Louis to kind of help me and go with me for that angle, because I was doing like the angle of shooting the Pharah.
If not even with you, just at the same time as you. Like it's fine for Louis to walk out here, especially if like it's getting a lot of pressure from the Pharah, and then you stay hidden until we scout the Pharah, know what our threats are, know where they are, and then you have the space to walk forward. Same with this kind of movement. We're still fighting back here. This is a really aggressive peak for how much pressure we're under right now. Same with you, Louis. This is really aggressive positioning. I'd rather see you like at the very most back here. Because yeah, what's going to happen again is we get split up. They start finding targets one at a time. Louis kind of chilling on cart, and they don't even need to worry about Reinhardt's range right now because they're just diving past you. They're diving at our backline. Our backline isn't playing tight enough together to fully peel for each other. And yeah, at the end of the day, we've wasted almost 2 minutes so far. Good news is we burned some ults from them. But yeah, this is the only point of the map where we're just burning through time. The rest of the map, we do a really good job pressuring, resetting, but wasting this much time can often be like the difference maker when it comes to winning or losing a map. So make sure we're patient, we're playing to our comp, and we're taking the time to set it up. Here we take the time to set it up, and so I think you're baiting here, Louis, and you were wanting your team to come this way. I'm not sure, but basically there's no reason to come this way. There's no space here that's valuable.
I think somebody else made that call, and I knew they had Primal, but I still went in for some reason. That was my mistake.
Yeah, the most aggressive.
Go ahead.
Oh,
sorry. I was gonna say they also have. I mean, they have Pharah, right?
Pharah boops.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they didn't, even if they just had like they still had the Ashe up here, that's just we can't do anything from here. We can maybe try a Mei wall strat if we get to these stairs, but that's already like, why not just go here? Why not go here and take an angle, kind of thing. But that's fine. Eventually, I think this is actually where we managed to turn it because they overcommit and we punish them. And yeah, if we're together and inside these buildings, like they can't do anything as long as we're together. So now we've got an advantage. We got a lot of space and we hit the gas.